Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce. I love the fact I can call this man a friend and super talented. How talented? He's won 4 Grammys. He's nominated for 2 more this year: Best Progressive R&B Album, Best R&B Song. He also has an Emmy, which I think is something he wins on the side, and just super creative. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Glasper. What is up, Rob?
Listen, that's the most positive, nice thing you ever said about me, Alonzo.
That is true. It's good we recorded that because I'll never say that again.
Exactly, it's over. I got it now. I got it now. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So you're in the new studio. You built this during the lockdown?
Yeah, me and Terrence Martin. Me and Terrence Martin build a studio. We're like, we need somewhere to just work every day without having to deal with the studio stuff and bumping into random people and the COVID situation. You don't know who used what, and it gets weird. So we were able to make a studio specifically for us and run it like that. So it's been a lifesaver.
That's great. That's great. So listen, man, I'm gonna start out with, and I alluded to it. Your One of the things I love about you, no limits to your music. You do everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know something about the continuity and how it happens. So you started with Canvas, which
Yep.
was the jazz trio,
Yep.
piano, bass, and drums, just beautiful. I don't know if classic jazz is the right word, but that. Then, black radio came along, and again, just different artists doing different things. Beautiful tribute to Sandy Hook, Jesus Children, which was just amazing. Art and Science. Now there's love songs in there. No One Like You.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful love song.
Mm-hmm.
And then somehow you landed on Fuck Your Feelings. So what happened? What's her name? Where did it go wrong?
That's funny. You know what? That's just life. That's just life. As life happens, you're in different relationships and different things. And the funny part about it is fuck your feelings. Actually, it came from a song that the record session, the recording session that we did for Fuck Your Feelings, I didn't know what it was going to be called. All I knew is I wanted to have Chris Dave and Derek Hodge and Jahi, my DJ, in the studio, and we did 2 nights in the studio, and we just invited some friends by to kind of hang out. And one of those friends was my friend Sir. He's an amazing singer songwriter. And Yebba and Herbie Hancock came by, and Corey Henry, and these are just people I know. But they came by, and while we were jamming, Sir heard something, started writing. And as soon as we came out the booth, he was like, "Yo, I wrote a song to that thing y'all just did, like in 5 minutes." And I was like, "Oh, snap." And the hook was "Fuck Your Feelings." And I was like, that's perfect for everything I stand for what this recording session is. I used it as kind of a mantra because a lot of times people put their feelings where they shouldn't be. Like, if somebody else is going through something that we don't necessarily go through, like whatever it is, if you are, if you're being racially discriminated, or you are a part of LGBT community, all the letters, whatever it is, and I don't understand that, I have to respect what you're going through. So fuck my feelings. I have to respect what you're going through. I have to respect the cause. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really about that. You know what I mean? That's what I used that for. So when he said that, I was like, that's actually perfect. You know what I mean? So we just kind of ended up on that, and it trickles down for everything. Fuck people's feelings about what jazz is supposed to be. You know what I mean? Fuck your feelings.
I definitely want to talk to you about that. Now, and I've heard you talk about this before about jazz and people trying to define it and
Mhm.
what it is, what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do, etc. But here's the question that I want to ask you. What do you tell people when they say jazz is dead? They've been saying jazz is dead for what, the past 50 years?
Exactly.
What do you tell them?
When people say jazz is dead, I'm still here. I'm still breathing. You know what I mean? Christian Scott's still here. He's still breathing. Marcus Strickland. I could go down a list. I could literally rattle off 100 names right now of people that are still breathing, that are pushing the music. Now, some people say jazz is dead because they have one definition of what jazz is, and if they don't see that anymore, then to them it's dead. You know what I mean? But the reality is, and I tell people all the time, like the jazz police are hypocrites, because when you ask any jazz police person who their favorite jazz artist is, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say Miles Davis.
Yeah.
And he was the biggest walking middle finger in jazz ever. You know what I mean? He never repeated things. He always kept it moving and always wanted to play things that were current. He died playing, like playing hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what his last shit was, him really trying to get into the hip hop world. Like he always said, you know, if you want to hear that old shit, go listen to the records. That's what they're for. You know what I mean? And the reality is, the actual true tradition of, because people say, you know, I don't hear the tradition when you're doing all this other stuff. I don't hear the tradition of what you're doing. It's like the actual true tradition of jazz is that it always changes. That's the tradition. So if I'm following the tradition, you're not supposed to hear Charlie Parker and what I'm doing. You know what I mean? It progressed. If we left fucking electricity up to them motherfuckers, we still be using fucking Morse code or some shit. Like,
but I do want to talk about this, because this is something that I don't think people know, and I feel so lucky to be a part of this. Your green rooms, wherever you perform, because I've seen you in LA, New York, whatever, the coolest hang in any city you're in is your green room. Right. And just so you know, fans, I have from Dave Chappelle to Don Cheadle, Herbie Hancock, Marshall Ali, Angela Davis. I met Angela Davis. Yeah, that Angela Davis in a Robert Glasper green room. How do you create that, man? How does that vibe happen that your spot is where everyone wants to be?
Man, you know, I feel like through the years, I've always just had an inclusive kind of vibe when I play. So when I'm doing a show, I've always had, I mean, it started back in honestly, back in 2003, when I was playing in Brooklyn at this little club, the Up Over Jazz Cafe. I'll never forget it. It's closed down. They didn't even have a liquor license. But I used to play there every Thursday with my trio. And you know, back then I knew Common. I used to give him piano lessons and stuff. I knew Common, so he used to come through and just rock with me. And sometimes there'd be nobody in there because nobody knew me in 2003. I was just fresh out of college, but it was a place I could practice. Common used to come through. Q-Tip used to come through. Talib Kweli, because these are people in Brooklyn that I knew,
right?
You know, and Bilal, you know, and Ledisi. These are people I've already known by playing in their bands and stuff. So when I had shows, they would just fall through. And I think it's just that, you know, I developed a cool relationship with them, and we keep the music at a high level, so they want to come. You know what I mean? And it just kept trickling on since then, and it just kept going. So when I'm in the different cities and stuff like that, people just want to come hang and be a part of it, and it just kind of just kept happening, you know.
Well, I want to tell you, I played a bouncer in numerous movies.
Yeah.
And if I was the bouncer at your green room, I actually wouldn't let me in. I'd be like, who? No, I don't think you. No, you just go back.
Right. The Angela Davis was a surprise though. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
So listen, where can people find everything you're doing, all your music, and you know, I know you're doing some live streaming shows too, so we want to know about those.
Yeah, so my Instagram and my Twitter is just Robert Glasper, straight up. As of now, I don't have anything that's coming out streaming. I had a few things in the past come out, but whenever I have something coming up soon, I'll definitely put it on my Instagram and my website for sure.
Listen, everyone, go to robertglasper.com, go to wherever you get your music, and download his, because I'm telling you, it's just absolutely phenomenal. Rob, man, it's so good to see you. I can't wait to get back in the green room. Let's do this.
I know,
live.
we got to do it.
Take care.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.